Apple is doing something it has never done before. And I don't mean that in the marketing way. I mean it in your entire mental model of how iPhones release is about to be wrong kind of way. The iPhone 18 Pro is real. The launch date is closed, but there is no iPhone 18, not yet. And by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why that's actually a smart move, Timo. And the one feature on the Pro that no reviewer has properly explained yet. So here's the full picture. Apple is splitting its iPhone releases into two phases starting this year. The iPhone 18 Pro, the iPhone 18 Pro Max, and the first ever foldable iPhone, likely called the iPhone Ultra, all land in September 2026. The standard iPhone 18, the next iPhone Air, and the 18 spring 2027. That's not a leak. That's the confirmed strategy now. And honestly, once you understand why, it makes complete sense. Apple has 6 iPhones to release this cycle. That is a very crowded stage. Splitting them gives each lineup its own moment. It also gives Apple 2 sales windows instead of 1. Smart. So what does the iPhone 18 Pro actually look like? Mostly the iPhone 17 Pro, same 6.3-inch screen on the Pro, same 6.9-inch on the Pro Max. The raised camera plateau at the back, still there, still triangular, but there are changes underneath that familiar shell. The two-tone rear casing on the 17 Pro, gone. Apple has apparently updated the back glass to match the frame more seamlessly, more unified, less visibly designed. And the Pro Max, it's reportedly going to be thicker and heavier than its predecessor, around 243 grams, which would make it the heaviest iPhone Apple has ever shipped, heavier than the 14 Pro Max. Before you close the tab, and there's a very good reason for that, the iPhone 18 Pro Max is getting a battery increase of nearly 500 milliamp hours. To put that in context, that's not a modest spec bump. That's a meaningful jump. The Pro Max goes from roughly 5,088 milliamp hours to 5,567. The standard Pro goes from 4,252 to 4,288, a smaller gain but still moving in the right direction. Add a more efficient LTPO Plus display, which Apple is also switching to this year, and you have a phone that should hold a charge longer than anything Apple has shipped before. LTPO Plus gives finer control over how much power the screen draws. The display adapts smarter to the light around you, which means less energy wasted, keeping your screen brighter than it needs to be. Battery and display working together. The combination is what actually matters, not either number alone. Here's where things get genuinely interesting because nobody agrees. 3 separate credible sources, 3 different answers. Wayne Ma at The Information says Apple is removing the dynamic island entirely, replacing it with a single pinhole camera. Ross Young, the display analyst who is rarely wrong, says the dynamic island stays but gets meaningfully smaller. Mark Gurman at Bloomberg agrees with Young, slimmer dynamic island not eliminated. And then a Weibo leaker, Ice Universe, puts an actual number on it. The cutout will be approximately 35% narrower, around 13.5 millimeters wide, down from 20.7 on the 17 Pro. The most likely answer, smaller dynamic island, under display Face ID receiver, but the camera stays visible for now. Apple is reportedly testing 2 separate screen molds. A final decision hasn't been made yet, which means whatever ships in September, it will look different up front. The A20 Pro chip built on TSMC's 2 nanometer process. What does 2 nanometer actually mean for you? Roughly 15% faster than the A19, about 30% more power efficient. And this year, Apple is packaging the A20 using TSMC's wafer-level multi-chip module technology, which means RAM is integrated directly onto the same wafer as the processor, not sitting next to it, on it. Faster data transfer between the chip and the memory, faster Apple intelligence, better battery life from lower power draw. In June, a leaked image of the iPhone 18 Pro motherboard confirmed the new packaging is real. This is the chip story nobody is talking about properly. The number isn't just new chip. The architecture is fundamentally different from what came before. And this is the part I actually wanted to get to. The iPhone 18 Pro is reportedly getting a variable aperture main camera. Every iPhone Pro since the 15 has used a fixed aperture f1.78. The lens is permanently wide open. You can't change it. Variable aperture means the lens physically adjusts its opening, wider for low light, narrower for bright scenes, and deeper depth of field. This is how DSLRs work. This is not how any iPhone has ever worked. If the rumor holds, and it comes from Ming-Chi Kuo, which means it almost certainly does, you will be able to manually control depth of field from your pocket, more light when you need it, more sharpness when you don't. That is not a spec sheet change. That is a fundamentally different camera system. A few more things worth knowing quickly. The iPhone 18 Pro may support full 5G satellite internet, not just emergency messaging. Apple's partner infrastructure is being upgraded through a Globalstar and Amazon merger. If this lands, you get actual data connectivity from orbit, which sounds like science fiction, but here we are. iOS 27 ships with the phone. The headline feature is a rebuilt Siri, more conversational, more contextual, with its own standalone app for revisiting past conversations. The 18 Pro is expected to carry 12 gigabytes of RAM, same as the 17 Pro, so it runs the full Apple Intelligence stack without compromise. And colors. Apple is testing a deep red finish, also light blue, dark cherry, dark gray, and silver. Black, which has been a Pro staple forever, apparently isn't coming. Second year in a row. Make of that what you will. So, should you care about the iPhone 18 Pro? Here's the honest answer. If you're on a 15 Pro or older, this is the most compelling upgrade cycle Apple has built in years. Variable aperture alone is a genuine reason. Add the battery jump on the Pro Max, the A20 efficiency gains, and a redesigned front face. And this is a real upgrade. If you're on the 16 Pro or 17 Pro, the camera is the only thing that would move me. Everything else is incremental. And if you were waiting for the standard iPhone 18 spring 2027, mark it. The September event is reportedly landing on Wednesday, September 9th. Pre-orders open September 11th. Phones ship September 18th. The question I keep coming back to, and I genuinely like your answer in the comments, is this: does variable aperture actually change how you'd use your phone camera, or is computational photography already good enough that it doesn't matter? Because I think the answer to that question tells you exactly whether this phone is for you.